What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about how to build your very own niche celebrity brand. So by celebrity brand, it's when people think of what do you do? When people go, okay, I want to know how to get a date. They go, this is the guy to do it. So for example, all these people down here, Frank Kern, Ryan Dice, Amy Porterfield, Marie Forleo, all these people are really well known. And other names, women who are trying to attract their perfect partner. Who do I think of? Matthew Hussey. He's like really well-known celebrity, big name. He automatically has credibility, and he's got that now. Like, he's automatically got a business. So how do you go from here to here, and how long does it take? I'm going to be talking you through this timeline in this video. So let's talk about this. So most of you watching this, and feel free, if you want to talk about your own niche, if you've got any questions about that, feel free to ask as we go. But most of you are up here in anonymous. So anonymous is very few people have heard of you. Nobody cares about what you do. Nobody trusts you. And it's really hard to get money out of anyone at this point, because it's like some guy in the street walking up to you and saying, hey, would you like to give me $5,000 for my coaching course? You're like, well, no, I don't know who you are. Whereas this guy down here, well, if it's what you want, if they're teaching what you want, fairly easy sell for those guys. This bit in the middle is where you can make sales, but it's a bit more work, but possible. And I'll talk about that in a moment as well. So when I say anonymous, right, you're probably thinking, oh, it's someone who hasn't started a business yet, someone who hasn't put any content. But a lot of you are putting out daily content on your Facebook personal feed, just like I do. But you're still an anonymous. You haven't made a jump to trusted professional yet. And the reason for that is your content isn't right. So how we make the jump from here to here is, and I'll try and write, this is a bit where you see my handwriting go disgusting. Like, it took me ages to write this out carefully beforehand. When you see me writing actually live, it's disgusting. Well, let's have a go. So content, but not just any kind of content. It's got to be quality. So some characteristics of this. It's unique. Can you see that? Credible. Entertaining. Okay, see, handwriting gone already. So that's just a few characteristics. There's more. There's quite a few things you need to be able to go from here to here. Now, the time frame of going from here to here, if you get this content right, you can do this in 2 to 4 weeks. Now, a lot of you, as I said a moment ago, a lot of you are putting out content. I'm friends with loads of coaches, and I see them putting out content daily, but it's getting like 2 likes and maybe the odd comment here and there. And they're doing this for 6 months or more. And they're still in this point because the content itself isn't right. So you can never jump out of anonymous if you don't have the right kind of content. If your content doesn't actually speak to your audience, if you don't know exactly who your person is you're speaking to, who your audience is, and how your content is different, how your offering is different, how what you've got to sell is completely different to everyone else, and you don't know how to make yourself actually believable, then you're never going to make this jump. And you're always going to be like throwing shit at a wall and hoping it's going to stick. You're always just going to be hoping and hoping that something works. And now and again, you'll get the odd sale. Someone will come in and be like, oh, I like your stuff and want to buy it. But it doesn't happen with any level of consistency. But if you get this right, you can make that jump in 2 to 4 weeks. And when you make that jump, to trusted professional, the very first part of it, there's levels of this. So the first part of trusted professional is actually you don't have much credibility because you don't have an army of like fans and followers. You don't have a whole library of testimonials and videos of people going, oh my God, Rich is amazing. He helped me make 10K in a month and I haven't looked back since. And thank you so much. I've been able to quit my job, all that kind of stuff. So at that point, the best thing to do is to create what I call a pilot offer. I did this back in September last year. So I started my Magic Source Facebook group at the end of end of June it was last year. I had no credibility, nothing in the online marketing world because I was a dating coach. But I just started my Facebook group, and it came to September. I've been putting out regular content for about 6 weeks. And I just said, hey, I'm looking for around 5 to 10 people who are going to join an online course. Now, that course is going to be 5K or more when I actually run it for real. But for you guys, I'm going to run it at half price. In fact, I'm going to let you in for 2K if you sign up for this. Now, what I get in return is I want a really great testimonial off you That's what I said to him. I want a really great testimonial off you, assuming I get you the results. But in return, you get to do it now, and you get it so much cheaper than you otherwise would have done. Because to pay for the level of service I offer would normally cost like 10K plus with anyone with like a level of credibility. But because I was new, I had to make that offer. So I got some people in, I got some testimonials. I worked really hard to make sure I got them the results. Then I got some testimonials. Now I'm working my way through this. So I went from there, and I'm now somewhere in the middle there at this point. And then I kept on signing up people. I use those testimonials, put them back into my content. That makes my content more credible, which invites more people in, because now more people who were on the fence first time go, hang on a minute, that person Richard got that person a result that I would quite like. Maybe he isn't full of shit. Maybe I should trust him. So then they end up signing up. They fall off the fence. They sign up. So then I work hard to get them a result, and I keep on moving down here. So now I'm somewhere, let's say around here. I'm still in trusted professional. I'm not a celebrity yet, okay? When you say internet marketing, most people aren't going to go automatically go, oh, Richard Fletcher. But there's quite a lot of people in the industry who know my name now, who trust what I do, who are like, oh yeah, this guy actually gets results. So the more I do this, the closer it moves me to here. So this bit here, the timeline on this can vary, but if you're doing organic content, you're probably looking at least a year, maybe a couple of years, maybe longer, because there's a lot of competition. One of the things of this, the nature of this bit is it's insecure. But you make money. So hopefully you can still read that. So what do I mean by that? So in this bit here, you've got clients, people are coming to you, but you have to keep on posting. So I'm still on this point. If I don't keep posting on a regular basis, people are going to forget who I am. I'm going to go back into anonymous again, and then I'm going to have to start from scratch. But as long as I keep on posting, I keep on putting good content out there. Hey, mate, how you doing? If I keep on putting good content out that people like, I keep on moving down here. As long as I stay with the trends and I see what's going on, I don't become a cliche. I don't become like a parody of myself where I just say the same things over and over. My audience have heard it all before, and they're like, oh, here's Richard talking about, oh, you've got to be unique again. Well, I've heard that before. I'm bored now. I've got to kind of keep on keeping myself relevant. A bit like Madonna. You know how Madonna kept on inventing herself and didn't stay with like 80s frizzy hair in like 2001. She reinvented herself. Hey, Lucy, how you doing? She kept on reinventing herself, and she's still relevant today because she kind of went with the times. That's kind of what you've got to do here. You can't stay with what kind of got you noticed in the first place. You've got to evolve all the time, which is that's maybe another topic for another day. But the key bit is you keep on posting. But most of you are here. So you're trying to kind of put the quality content out, and you're trying to go from here to here, but you're not out of here yet because your content isn't right. Which is exactly what I teach on my program, how to go from here to here. The program length is 6 weeks. So there's actually 2 weeks of continuity there. What you do in your program, you put out 2 weeks of content. I show you how to, first of all, reach that ideal market. Who are you actually aiming at? What are you really good at? What are you going to enjoy doing, and what will people pay for? So many of you are putting offers out right now that aren't actually what you should be doing. Once we got that right, which is the first week, we then move on to, okay, what kind of content do you want to put out? I literally work with you one-on-one, where you send me the content you're writing, and I fill a Google Doc full of compliments. Probably not compliments, probably the stuff you don't want to hear, but I fill it full of comments of, okay, this is what needs to change to make it perfect. Then you post it, and we wash, rinse, repeat every single day for like a couple of weeks. And what that will do, you're going to be like my client, Anna, who's in my program right now. She's gone from nothing, and she's now in this bit right now. And she's about, 4 or 5 weeks in the program. Now, she hasn't actually signed anyone up yet, but that's because we're going through each stage of the funnel. So now she's got a funnel where she's posting every day. People are starting to trust her, and they're like, okay, yeah, I see what she does. She actually helps women become more fertile so they can get pregnant through like nutrition rather than like using IVF and stuff. And she's very good at it too. By the way, if you're watching this and you're in that scenario, I can link you up with her because well worth a shout. So she's now at a bit where she's getting leads, but she can't quite convert them now. So that's what we're working on at this point. And once she starts being able to convert them and she gets that first one off the fence, she'll be unstoppable. And then it's just a matter of keep putting that content out, keep getting results for people, keep feeding those results back into your feed. And then that then gets more people to fall off the fence, get results for them, and you keep on going round and round and round until eventually so many people know who you are that you're just a celebrity now. You've got so many followers, you're so well known, you've got so much credibility that you're now in celebrity land where people automatically think of you. You're getting invited to go on like talk shows, or not necessarily like, like big talk shows on TV, but because you're still only like an online person. But you're getting invited onto like big internet marketing podcasts. You might get onto like Joe Rogan or something like that. And people just know who you are. So it's getting clients is no bother anymore. No longer are you thinking about, okay, here's how do I pay the bills? Where's the next client come from? You're thinking more about delivery. How can I service many customers? How can I improve my product? How can I scale and still keep quality? How can I scale without working, 23 hours a day? Hey, Amit. Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. In the program as well, he says, Rich is keeping me on track much better than to keep putting out stuff out there and you'll get there. Gary Vee style approach. Yeah, Gary Vee's right in the sense of keep putting out stuff and you'll get there. But it depends on what that stuff is. Like if you're just putting out memes, if you're just putting out be yourself, be authentic, positivity always wins, all that kind of stuff, you're not going to sell anything. All right. We've heard it all before. It has to be unique and different. And that's what we work on. We get that content right, so people start noticing you. Then we work on how to convert them into customers, and you just keep on repeating that process. And as long as you stick with it, you're going to get to this celebrity point. Eventually, I should go on this side. I'll keep on covering this. I keep forgetting. As long as you keep doing that, you're going to. So, like I said, I'm here now. I'm just going to keep on repeating this, and maybe a year's time. It might take 2 years. It might take 5 years' time. I'm going to be here, and that's the point when you're making millions, and you've got a big company, and you're thinking about, okay, how am I going to deliver this? And your role essentially changes. You've got a lot of people working for you at this point, but you can stay in this bit if you want. It's just you've got to keep on putting out content, and it's always insecure. If you don't keep on doing it, then people forget who you are, and you've got no business anymore. But that's fine. Like I just keep putting content out, and at some point I'll get to here. How long that takes? Well, I'm not there yet, so I'll let you know when I get there. But I reckon a couple of years. Well, this bit here, I always say about the ecosystem when I enroll people. It's a 6-week program, but it's a 6-month commitment. So you're going to find bits where you're posting and you does really well. Then you might go for a bit where no one's interested and no one seems to be commenting, and you just got to stick with it. You've just got to stay with it, stay with the course, and just go, I'm going to stick with the program because it works. And if you do it, you're going to find that you're going to have peaks and troughs, but eventually, over time, your overall line is up. So you might be like this, but it is going up all the time. And you just stick with that until you get there. What a lot of you are doing is, some of you are making content that gets you to here, but then you kind of like have a trough, or it feels hard and you're just like, oh, I don't want to stick with this. It's boring. I want to try something else. Oh, there's a shiny thing over there. Maybe I'll try Forex trading or something. Maybe I'll go and buy some Bitcoins. I heard they were good in 2016. And then you go over to that instead, and you neglect your business because it's insecure, because you're in this bit, you go back to anonymous again. And that's what a lot of people are doing. Instead of sticking with it, there's always a point in your business where it gets hard and it gets a bit boring and you're like, this is a grind. That's the point when you stick with it. No different to when you start working out. You do your New Year's resolution in January to work out, and what happens? 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you've given up, because that's when it starts getting difficult, and you're like, don't fancy this anymore. Your initial motivation, your willpower's gone. You're like, lifting weights is hard work, running is hard work. I don't want to do that anymore. I might just lie on the sofa. And you give up like everybody else. So you go from here back to there again. And that's where people fail. They don't stick with it. The 2 ways people fail is they don't have the quality content. They don't know who they're aiming at. Their content doesn't hit the mark, so they're never able to make sales and never able to get to this point. The second way they fail is, if they do have that quality content, they don't stick with it for long enough, because there's so many people. I don't care what you're selling. There's so many people selling what you're selling. That's just how it is. You've got to stick with it long enough so your audience goes, oh, this is a real player. This is a person who's here to stay. This is a person who's taking it seriously, not just someone who's like, oh, I did a digital marketer course over the weekend, and now I'm a digital marketing professional, and I'm going to show you how to get lots of leads and clients. And then a month later, you're doing something else. Nobody can trust people like that. So a lot of this is longevity, having your face out there for long enough, people recognizing you. When people come to your feed and they actually look through your actual profile, they can scroll through, and they could spend like 10 hours on your profile just going through all the content. And it's clear that when they look at your profile, now, you look at a post I did 2 days ago, 104 comments, whatever. Regularly have posts like that, over 100 comments, 25 comments, 30 comments. And if you scroll through, you can see people are responding to this guy when they look at my content. So it's clear that, well, if people are responding to him and they like what he's doing, maybe he's worth listening to. Whereas if you come to my profile and there's no one there and no one's listening, and it's like every post gets like 1 like, well, people aren't going to pay attention, because they're like, well, if no one else is listening, why should I? So if you want to be able to do this for yourself, And if you're in this point there where you're like, maybe you're like, I don't know if my content is hitting the mark or not, give me a shout. I will look at your content for you and I will tell you. Now, if you don't like brutal honesty, if you don't like, someone saying, actually, your content's not hitting the mark and here's why, if you want me to give you a nice little hug and be like, there, everything's fantastic. It's your audience's fault for not signing up with you. They're the ones with the problems. They don't know a good thing when they see it. If you want to hear that from me, then don't send me a message. But if you want someone to tell you how it is and go, look, this is the situation you're dealing with and here's what you want to do about it. It might be a bitter pill to swallow, but at least you can see it with open eyes and make your own decision of what to do. Give me a message. I'll look at your content. I'll click on your feed and I'll be like, all right, here's what's going on. It'll take me like 30 seconds. So it's no bother out of my day. Now, at that point, you may want to talk about whether you want to sign up for a program or how it's going to help you or whatever. We can have that conversation. But if you just want to find out where you're at, then that's fine as well. It's not loads. It's not no skin off my nose, no bother out of my day. Send me that. A lot of people have done this in the past. And pretty much every time someone comes to me asking for help, whether they send me money or not, they go away in a better position. And if you end up enrolling and you want to go from here to here, well, you'll end up being like Michael was. Michael made, 10K in his first month on the program. Now, that's not typical. Most people take a bit longer, but he made 10K in his first month because he got the content right, he got people in, signed them up, and now he's just building that brand till he gets to celebrity. Anna's in that process right now. Dahlia was in the place where she was putting content out, but on a Facebook group. Now she's doing it on a feed as well. She's getting people in, and she's made about 25 grand, I think, in the last few weeks, something like that. She's a career coach, and she wasn't making much beforehand. She was getting the odd sale here and there. So she's building that up and up. Some weeks she has nothing, then another week she might make 10K, then another week she might have nothing. But she's building that up and up until she's going to get to that point. And she's been doing this for 5 months now. And it's a matter of sticking with it. And I've got a whole host of clients who are in a similar position where they're building up until they reach celebrity. You can do the same. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You are going to need to be, hey, Jason, how's it going? I don't know who this Ricky is, but not many people call me that. But I don't mind. I guess my name's kind of versatile in it. Just to try and avoid Dick if you can. I'd appreciate that. So, if you want to do this and you're willing to take it seriously, if you're not one of these shiny object chasers who's like, okay, here's another turnkey magic system that puts dollars in the bank while you sleep overnight, and I don't have to do anything. I just click a button and it magically happens. If you're one of those people, or as I would call it, an idiot, and I was that idiot like about 10 years ago. I followed that cycle for ages, so I'm not judging you, but, wake up. If actually you wake up, because it doesn't work. If you actually want to build a brand that actually works, if you want to build a brand where you've got something now, you've actually got an asset that is going to pay you for years and years, possibly for life, rather than just jumping on this treadmill of going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. If you want to do that and you want to grit your teeth and actually work for the next 6 months on this, then give me a shout. Now, it's not going to take 6 months to get results. You'll probably start making sales straight away like Michael did. Michael made sales after a couple of weeks. If you're actually committed. But some people take longer. It just depends on the market. It depends on where you're starting from, what kind of audience you've got already. If you've got nothing, it can take a little longer. But as long as you're willing to grit your teeth and stick with it, and you get this content right, which is where I come in, I show you exactly how to do it. I don't just say, go and watch this video, and then you've got to figure it out for yourself. I actually look at your content and say, this is how it's going to work for you. And if you enroll in my program, we'll actually book a call for as soon as possible, the very next day often, where I will sit with you one-on-one for an hour and I will ask you the right questions to figure out what is your offer, who is your audience, how is this thing going to work for you. So there is no ambiguity. You're not sat there trying to figure out, okay, how do I apply this content to myself? And you go away and you do it and it's like, you didn't quite get it right, but no one was able to tell you. There is no ambiguity. You cannot get this wrong because I won't let you. The only onus on you is to actually sit down and do the work, to actually write the content and to grit your teeth and just do it. To be willing to put yourself out there. If you're willing to do that, you'll get results. If you're not, well, I'm not for you. But if you want that help, and you're like a bunch of people, like if you look on my wall on my call booking page, it's magicsourcemarketing.com/book call. Look on there. There's a whole bunch of people who give me testimonials just for the call itself, for how much money they're able to make, how helpful it was to them, even whether they signed up or not. So if you want to have that conversation with me, you should know by now, I don't do the hard sales stuff. I don't do fast action discounts. We just have a chat, and I was like, if it's right for you, sign up. If it's not, it's not. On many occasions, you have to convince me to sign up because I've had people sign up to me in the past when I was a bit more desperate, like a year ago, and I was like, I really want people in because no one's heard of me. And I sign people up who don't do the work because I try a bit too hard to oversell it. Then they come in and they don't do any work. And what happens? They end up blaming me. And what that does is you get too many people in like that, it pulls you back towards anonymous again. Because then you get people saying shit about you, saying, oh, he doesn't work, don't trust him. Because obviously everyone knows, everyone talks to each other. When people come to you and they see that we've got mutual friends, they're like, oh, have you done Richard's course? Well, you want people saying, yeah, it was brilliant. You don't want people saying, actually, it was a pile of shit, don't go to him, because that's going to just hurt me. So I'm really keen on getting people results. So I'm kind of protective. I'd rather have less money but better people. So if you're in that position, you want to know how to do it. You want to be able to do it. Jason, the program's called The Ecosystem. If you want to chat about it, send me a message. I'm happy to send you a voice note and talk about how it works for you. But essentially, the program works like this. It's 6 weeks long, and we work together. There are 6 weeks of videos. You get one video a week where, first of all, we talk about how to create the actual bit where it's going to take you from here to here. So that's your offer. Who's your specific audience? Who are we speaking to? What's your content going to be so it stands out from everybody else? Then we spend 2 to 3 weeks of actually putting that content out to your audience and building your audience, adding the right people as friends. I'll show you how to do that. Building your audience, adding the right people as friends. Then once we've done that, now often when that happens, you'll get people reaching out to your messenger anyway, saying, oh, I like your thing, can you help me? And at that point, you might sign people up then. But then after about 3 or 4 weeks of this, we then put a promotion out. Like I said before in this video, we put a promotion out, Jason, where we'll say, I am looking for 5 people. I'm looking for 10 people, maybe. I'm looking for a small number of people to join me on a pilot program where I'm going to take you from here to here. And I'm going to show you how to write a post. Would anyone be interested in this? And then you get a bunch of people saying, actually, yes, tell me more. You convert some of them, you run the pilot program, you get great results. You make it clear to the people signing up that they're signing up for lower money now in return for a kick-ass video testimonial at the end. You then, when you've got those testimonials, you're going to feed them back into your ecosystem, so back into your content. That is going to make the people who are on the fence first time around fall off. And then you just wash, rinse, repeat, and you grow and grow and grow. And if you look through my feed, if you go on my feed now, Jason, and scroll through, you will see in the last 6 months or so, as I've been building this on my feed, I'm getting more comments, more views, more likes, more interest, more testimonials, more videos of people going, Richard's course was awesome. Richard helped me make 10K in a month. Richard helped me finally figure out what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. And now I'm going to go off and do it. Loads of stuff like that, which helps me build it even more. And I essentially, what we do in the program is I show you exactly how to do this for you and I help you implement it. So I'm not telling you to do anything I'm not doing myself. I literally show you how to do exactly what I'm doing now. How to make content like what you're watching now. A live video here that you're watching. Hopefully this is valuable content that you've hopefully not seen before, where you're like, actually, this makes sense. I've not heard this explained like this before. Or I could do this myself, or yeah, no one's ever shown me it in this way. This makes a lot of sense. Well, if you do the same thing with your audience, you're showing them stuff they haven't seen before, and hopefully you're entertaining them, you're making them laugh along the way, you're building your own credibility, and they're like, I trust this guy, this makes sense, I could do this, no one's ever explained this before. Well, you're going to get people reaching out to you, and I'm going to show you about how that works for you. So sure. Well, look, send me a message and you can tell me about where you're at. You don't have to enroll right now. You know, I'm not going anywhere. So have a chat. Because obviously, I don't know what you do, Jason. This might not be right for you anyway. But I'll tell you what, send me a message after this and we'll just have a little chat about it. No problem. Anyone else watching, if you want to have a chat about how this would work for you, like I said before, we just have a chat on Messenger. It's low key. There's none of this. Okay, book a call immediately. And then you get on phone with some annoying sales rep who does all the pain point prodding, like what would it be like if it worked for you? Oh, how long can you go on going on like this? How bad is it going to feel if this doesn't work out? Blah blah blah. Just prodding the pain points, and then makes you sign up, and then says, okay, the price of my course is $15,000, but if you sign up now, it's $5,000, and you're like, just fuck off, you know. 2016 called it. Once it's fast action discount back, you know. It's just give it a rest. There's none of that. It's just a low key chat. So if you want to be like a bunch of people who have had the chat with me already, and a lot of them don't sign up because it's not right for them at the time, or they can't afford it. We're just like, actually, you know, hey, I'll come back to you later. That's fine as well. It's totally low key because enough people see the value in what I'm doing that I don't have to sell it that hard anymore, which is where I want you to get to. And if you want that style of selling for you, if you want to be able to sell in that kind of laid back way where you don't feel like a sleaze bag having to prod pain points and make people feel like crap, if you want to sell in that kind of way, like I'm doing now, really laid back, kind of like, you know, take it or leave it. If it's not for you, great. I'll have a nice life. If you want to learn how to do that, if that style's for you, great. Again, contact me. But otherwise, yeah, I don't want to labor the point too much. So I'll just recap what we said. So anonymous. This is where most of you are right now. No one knows who you are. Even if you're posting daily content, no one cares. No one's really paying attention to it. You get a couple of likes here and there, but no one's really interested. When you know your audience inside out and you post content that really speaks to them, specific content where they're like, oh my God, that is me, they're going to start paying attention and they're going to start watching you. And you're going to start getting fans. You're going to start getting people interested, and people are going to be watching what you're doing. And over time, the more unique, credible, entertaining content you put out, people are going to be like appearing in your inbox. Some people sign up straight away. Other people, like I had someone recently sign up after like a year. He's like, oh, I chatted with you a year ago, but I've been following your content and I'm ready to sign up now. And this is how it works when you do it right. People follow you and follow you. You'll get people who like never comment on your stuff and are just lurking, watching in the background. And one day they appear out the shadows and be like, Richard, how do I sign up for your program? And that's what you want, rather than direct messaging people and cold messaging and be like, where these awful cut and paste templates they send and be like, hey, I've started a program on this. Would you like to sign up for this? And you're like, you don't know anything about me. Go away. It's not like that. You're attracting people to you. So you get to trusted professional, you keep on doing this, and eventually you get to celebrity. But the main thing is most of you are trying to get to trusted professional where you're a trusted professional. People actually trust you get the results. And the only reason people don't sign up is what you're offering isn't exactly what they want, or it's not right for them at that point in time, or they don't have the money. But the question of like, can this guy help me or not, or does his program work? It starts to disappear away because people have been following you for so long. We've seen so many different testimonials from other people, so many case studies of people who made like 10K here and 20K there, that eventually they're like, yeah, I trust this guy now. And they're just waiting for the right point to sign up for them. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've been going on more than long enough now. I hope it's made sense to you. I hope it's been valuable. Again, ask any questions on Messenger or in the comments and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, take care, have a good weekend, and see you again very soon.